high-low kimono top. You can rock this with anything of choice, either a jean, a three-quarter short like this, anything at all. You can even sew it a complete set with a short pants. Welcome to Joidala Fashion Guide. Today's video, we are going to be making a trendy high and low kimono top. So for this, you will need 1.5 yards of fabric. But for this tutorial, I have this 1 yard and then this leftover fabric that is about a quarter. So I'll just make do with this. So this is 1 yard. First of all, you fold it into 2 lengthwise to have the by 45. Then the next thing is to determine the length of the front. It's not going to be having any shoulder joining. So you determine the length that you want the front to be and then just fold it into 2 like this. Just fold it into 2 like this. So let me check what I have. I don't want my front to be too short, so I'm using 18 inches and then I'll add same allowance to that. So I'm going to make it 19.5. So the difference between the front and the back will be about 5 inches or more than. You can have 5 to 6 inches. So the difference here, I have about 6 inches as the difference. So I'll just make use of this. This is 19.5. And then the other one is 26 inches. So for my neck width, I'm going to be using 3.5 inches. I'll cut the neckline with using the back pattern first. Then later on, I'll open it up to cut out the front pattern. So half of my shoulder is 7.5. So this remaining part is a sleeve length. So I have a sleeve length of about 10, let's say 10 and almost 10.5. So I'll be adding a band to the sleeve just to make it long a bit. I'll add a 1 inch band or a 1.5 inch band depending on what I have after cutting. So let's say a 1.5 inch band. So for the neck depth of the back, I'm going to be making use of 1.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and just mark that out. So this is the back neckline. So I'll just determine my armhole opening since there is no joining at the shoulder. So from the shoulder line, I'll determine my armhole depth. My armhole opening length is 10 inches. And then I'm going to be adding 1.5 inch for seam. So this automatically becomes the chest line. The chest line or the bust, the shoulder to the bust line. This is the shoulder to the bust line. So we have shoulder to bust line and then we have the shoulder to the under bust and the waistline. But what we need right now is the shoulder to the bust line and then the waistline. Quarter of my bust is 10 inches and I'm gonna have to add 4 inches to that, making 14. And then I'm going to use 1.5 as my seam allowance, so making 15.5. So I'll go ahead and mark 15.5 down here. So after marking that out, I'll just mark the curve. If you do not have a curve ruler, at this corner, just put your tape and mark 1 inch. Put your tape like this, mark 1 inch, and that is where the curve will pass. So I'm going to cut out the side and the back neckline so that we can open it up and cut out the front. It's a very, very simple tutorial. This is beginners friendly as well. It's a very simple tutorial. Beginners can also try this out. So I'm cutting the front and the back neckline together. So you can go ahead and notch this point to know where the middle of the shoulder is. You can notch that. So I'm going to open it up so that I can cut the front line. But let me just show you how I'm going to mark it. So for the front pattern, just determine your length, your depth. My depth, I want 8 inches. And then the wideness of the placket is 1.5 inches. So I'll connect it to this neckline. So make sure that there are no sharp edges. So you just blend it out. So I'm going to cut out the front. So do that, I'll just separate it like this. So this side is the back. This is the back, this is the front. So I'm going to cut along the line that I've marked. So the next thing now is to cut out the collar for the back and this front. So you are going to measure, just measure what you have. Measure the neckline and this front. You measure it. Remember that it's on fold, so whatever you measure, you add 2 inches. You times it by 2 and then add extra inch just in case, just to avoid shortage. So I'm going to measure what I have here. I have 24.25. So I'll just go ahead and make it 25. So that means I'm cutting 50 inches long. So I'm going to be cutting, I'll just quickly cut that out now off camera and show you. I'm going to be cutting with this. And then I'm also going to cut the band. This is the sleeve area. So measure what you have there. I have 23 inches. Start cutting it out. I'm going to be joining to make it longer. So the width is 4 inches because by the time we fold in the edges with a 1/2 inch, we will now be left with 2 inches. We will now be left with 1.5 inch. Okay, on fold. So when you open it up, it will be 3 inches. Then the sleeve, the same thing. So I'm folding in the excess side, the right side are facing 1.5 inch. So I'll join it and then I'll take it to the ironing table and fold it into 2. I'll fold it into 2 like this, and then I'll also fold in the edge so that I have 1.5 inch left. So I'll do that on the ironing table, then come back to show you what it looks like. I'm going to do the same to the sleeve. I have 2 sleeves, so I've cut this out for the sleeve. I'm going to use the iron to also fold it. I'll fold it and also fold in the edge. This is to have a neat finishing, so that after folding in the edge, I'll just place it over the sleeve and sew. So I'll quickly fold this off camera now and then come back to show you how to attach it to the neckline and then to the sleeve. So this is what it looks like when you open it up. So this is the sleeve area. This is the cutout for the sleeve. I've ironed it. I fold in the edge so that no seam will be showing. So we're going to place this in between like this, and then place this over it and stitch. So you can use your pin to hold it in place. So we are doing this so that we can have a neat finishing. Nothing will be showing here. So I'll go ahead and repeat same for the other sleeve. And then for the neckline, remember that our neck depth was 8 inches. So let me just notch the points. This is where we marked before. This is the one for the collar. I've ironed it. I've also folded in the edge. Okay. So we'll also mark the middle of the neckline, of the back neckline. We'll also notch it. Remember that we marked where the front neckline was going to get to. So I'm just going to measure it now and also determine it here. So this is the center back. I have 13 inches. And double measure so that you'll be sure. So I have 13 inches. So this is folded into 2. I've already marked the middle before. This is the middle. This is the middle. So I'm going to measure 13 inches. This is where we have 13 inches. So this part is going to be opened like this. Okay. It's going to be open. This is where the neck will pass through. So you can actually try it over your head if it is okay. Front is going to lay like this. I've already marked this. The front is going to lay like this. This place is going to be joined together. So I'm just going to measure what I have. I have about 11 inches. 11 inches. So we are going to be joining this middle part. Our stitch is going to be inside here. No seam will show. So I'll just place the two. See what I'm doing? This is how it's going to appear. They just take it like this and turn it like this on top of each other. And then mark the 11 inches. Mine was 11, so yours may be different depending on your measurements. So this is where I have my 11 inches. So I'm going to use this crease line as a guide to sew. So my sewing will start from here to here. So we are going to stitch here so that when we are through, it will be like this. It will be like this. So I'll do that now, iron it, and then bring it back to show you. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut the pocket. This is what is left. So I'm going to be placing just one pocket. So this is optional. I'll just cut out my pockets. I'll determine the length. You know that the pocket is a complete pocket, so we are not cutting just one piece, we are cutting it on fold. So this now is for one pocket. So if I have enough fabric, I would have cut two of this. So on fold, you determine the width of the pocket. It's not the regular pocket, so just determine the width that you want. I've marked, my width, I'll use it 6.5 plus 1 inch of seam. That is 7.5. And then the length, I'm making the length 10 inches. This is plus seam allowance. So I'm just going to cut it out. Okay, so the upper side of the pocket, I'm going to fold it twice. I'll fold it 1/2 inch and then fold again. Like this. Okay. I'll also go ahead and fold this side twice as well, just to have a neat finish. So this is optional. I'll also go ahead and fold it twice, 1/4 inch. So this is what we have so far. I've sewn the sleeve. So this is what it looks like. Very neat. This is the back, this is the front. So I'm going to attach the neckline now. This is what the neckline looks like after sewing. So the way we attach the sleeve is how we're going to attach the neckline. So I'll first of all pin it. Right from the middle. Just put this in between like this. Guys, I'm going to continue to the end and also repeat same for the other side. So this is it after pinning. So I'll sew 1/8 of an inch round it. Okay. After sewing, you're going to trim off this excess here. This is the pocket after stitching. I folded it such that my stitch will end at the back. Okay, I folded the top twice and stitched, then join the side. Then I turn my seam to the middle before joining this down part. Then after that, I'll just open it up like this. Remember, it's a hanging pocket, so the pocket has to be complete. So open it up like this. Use my seam ripper to bring out the corners. So once you finish sewing, make sure you notch this corner. You notch the corner, both corners, so that it will be easy to cut out. So we are going to have this. So just go ahead and iron it. So once you are done with this, I'll come back to show you how to position the pocket, and then we are through. This is Joidala Fashion Guide. So this is it after sewing the neckline. So I'll go ahead and trim off the excess. And then I'm going to fold this front pattern. You just fold it twice and stitch. And once you have done that, you join the side. You join the side with the same allowance that you have left. You join the side with the same allowance that you have left. And then you notch those parts so that you can fold this part, this remaining back pattern twice. Okay, you fold this and sew it down. You do same with this other side, and then we fold this down part twice. So this is it after joining the side. So this is the only place that the seam is visible. I use zigzag stitch to tidy the edge, and at this corner, this armhole curve part, you just cut it in close to the seam so that this place can relax when we are ironing. So we're going to fix the pockets now, and that will be all. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave comment below in the comment section. Share so that others can learn. And please subscribe if you are yet to subscribe. This is Joidala Fashion Guide. Our next tutorial will be the other latest blouse, the puffy one that Vicky James wore. So that will be our next tutorial. So this is what we have. I'm going to iron later. So I'm going to fix the pocket. This is the pocket. I'm going to add just one pocket, and I'll put it on the right side. So on this, since it's facing me now, it will be on the left side. Okay, so this stitch sewn part will be, it will not be showing in front, to be at the back. Okay, so from this middle, I use 3 inches from the center. 3 inches. Okay, and then it's a hanging pocket, so can make it just take 3 inches upward. So the pocket will be here like this. Make sure it is on the same level, so you want to mark this side as well, so you can position it rightly. Okay, so that's just all. We'll just stitch this place down. We'll also stitch here down. So before you stitch, remember to remove the back pattern and stitch on only the front pattern. So that is all for this tutorial. I'll see you again in another video. Bye.